Welcome to Ben and Gary's.
Here's Scoop. On today's episode, we're going to learn about Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary.
Yes, you are.
I was born in Joplin in January of '81. My family moved around quite a bit, so I lived in a lot of different places throughout Oklahoma and Kansas. My dad was a factory worker for my whole childhood. In fact,
I wasn't born in a factory.
No, that was your dad. This guy. So occasionally, the factory job he was doing either laid him off or whatever the situation was, and we moved a few times because of that. My favorite place to live as a kid was Northeast Oklahoma because it was close to my grandpa. My grandpa has always been my hero. And so anytime I got a chance, man, I was spending time with him. We would travel to Tulsa because he was the district manager of the Tulsa World. So we'd drive to Tulsa in his little Triumph TR7.
Pretty cool car.
Very cool car. Tiny car, though. My grandpa...
Go-kart.
Yeah, my grandpa was a big man like me. And so when he brought that car home, he gets out of the car in front of his house, and this kid riding down the street with his buddies on a bike goes, "Did you guys see that great big fat man getting out of that little bitty car?" Because it looked like a go-kart, man.
Yeah,
it was tiny. Like they're wedge shaped too, so kind of a triangle. Really cool cars though.
Like an old Miata, basically.
Yeah, but Miatas are at least round.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this looked like a
very...
door wedge.
Yeah.
So, those were some of my fondest memories, spending time with him in that car and driving around and doing stuff. When I was in third grade, my dad lost his job at the boat plant he was working at because they had downsized. And so he took a position in Pittsburgh, Kansas, working for a company called Superior Wheel. They manufacture wheels for like Ford and GM and all those major companies.
Were they superior?
To who is the question? I don't know.
Everyone else, if they're superior.
They must be. I mean, their name says it all. Yeah. Okay, well, anyway. So we moved to Arma, Kansas. We lived in the Arma and Franklin area from the time I was in third grade until 8th grade. I wasn't super happy about that because even in that age, like I was getting ready to start Pee Wee football in Oklahoma, and I was super excited about football. I've always had a real passion for tackle football. And so when we moved to Kansas, they didn't have football until 7th grade. So I went from having the next year being the year I would start football to having 4 years in between. So I was super disappointed when I got to Kansas. And to all you folks who love Kansas, I'm sorry, but I hated it. Hated living in Kansas.
Most people do. Like 98%.
I don't know, man. There was just something about it. My mom always told me that life was the same everywhere and living in one place wouldn't make any difference. She was wrong.
Yeah.
She was definitely wrong.
Living outside Kansas is much better than anywhere else.
So we lived in Kansas there for a while. Nothing amazing to speak of. We had friends and we had people that we cared about there. My dad's family was from that area. But my freshman year of high school, between 8th grade and freshman year, we moved back to Commerce, Oklahoma. And I feel like that's where my life really hit its stride. I joined the football team as soon as we moved to Commerce. And football in Kansas and Oklahoma is a totally different world. Like, I just can't even compare the two. Like, it's almost like playing flag football in Kansas compared to Oklahoma, is what I felt like. And so my freshman year, we didn't do very much as far as playing time or anything like that. But my sophomore year, I actually got to start on the defense for most of the year and earned some district honors in football. My junior year, I started on both offense and defense. My senior year, I actually earned all-state honors as an offensive guard. I also got to travel to Germany to play football. That was kind of cool.
That would be very cool. I've never been outside the United States.
Really? Have you ever traveled much? Oh, wait, we talked about that the last time. We're going on our first flight, aren't we?
I obviously haven't traveled very much.
Are you still like antsy about that flight?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're doing it on Saturday.
I know.
So I actually traveled to Germany though and played football. We played the German national champions and the runners-up. My team played the German national champions, but obviously, like, we didn't just take our high school team over there. This was some of the better players throughout the country who was willing to go over there and play. And so we actually beat the Germans 72-0. It was bad.
It's good to beat the Germans.
It was bad. Germany's a beautiful place, though. Like,
I
there's
imagine
some
so.
pretty cool stuff over there. I ain't gonna tell the stories on here, but like, it's crazy over there.
What happens in Germany stays in Germany.
That's what I'm sticking with, man. That's what I'm sticking with. So once I graduated high school, I went to Missouri Southern and I played football for a year. In the off season, that's when I met my wife Stephanie at Sears. She wasn't my wife at the time, obviously. I know how you are with like doing things specifically.
Yeah, I'm very specific.
Yeah. So she was working in the kids department. I was working in the warehouse, and she would come back there, and I'd always go be around her and talk to her and flirt with her. So I'm sitting back there in the break room, Valentine's Day of 2002, 2003, something like that. I'm old. Shut up about it. Especially you.
I was like 4.
Right, shut up. I don't even want to be your friend anymore. So she comes back there and she says, well, I guess I'll have to go out with my girlfriend for Valentine's Day. I don't have a date. And I'm stupid. Like, if you want something from me, just tell me what you want because that's what I need to hear. I don't pick up on innuendo.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I mean? You just have to tell me, this is what I want to do.
Just be direct about it. That's
Yeah,
what I
exactly.
do.
Yeah. And so she beat around the bush for 3 days, telling me how she didn't have a date. Finally, I got fed up with it. I was like, well, you know what? I'll get a date for your girlfriend and I'll take you out. And she goes, oh, no, I don't need a date for my girlfriend. We could just go out. I was like, man, I've been had. She hoaxed. She really tricked me into
She didn't
this.
even have friends.
She did not. Stephanie, I know you had friends. Don't listen to Benji. He's going to try to get me in trouble. So we went out that first Valentine's Day, and I was such a helpless romantic, man. I pulled out all the stops for this
I
date.
could see it.
Yeah, I took her to see Hannibal for our first date on Valentine's Day.
Classic.
I mean, it was open night.
It's a classic movie.
Yeah, I wanted to take her to see the best show in the theater.
If you're trying to impress a girl, take her to see a movie about eating other people.
Yeah, I kind of felt that, didn't I? Especially on Valentine's Day. I found out many years later that she hates scary movies too, so I completely fell all around.
Took you that long to find out.
Well, she's kind of sneaky when it comes to stuff like that. She kind of holds everything close to the vest.
Chest.
I think it's vest.
No, it is chest.
I mean, your vest would be on your chest.
But what do you have nonstop? You have a chest.
Anyway.
When's the last time I wore a vest?
I have no clue, dude.
I don't think I ever have. Ever.
Okay, I apologize. We'll go with chest then.
Close to my chest.
Close to your chest.
Close to
I don't know
my
why
vest.
it would be you in this situation, but
I don't know. You got me confused.
Apparently. I apparently have him confused. So we went out on that first date, and a few months passed, and we went to Sears Friends and Family Night. And we got discounts off of stuff that was already discounted, and so there was this really nice engagement ring there that was a half carat, and by the time I used all my discounts, I got a $1,000 ring for like $150. It was a stupid good deal.
I didn't even know Sears sold engagements rings.
Sears isn't even active now.
I
They're
know,
gone.
it's closed now.
Yeah, I mean, all my memories of Sears, I can't go relive.
My
because
dad
they're shut
bought my
down.
mom's engagement ring at a pawn shop. True story. True story.
Maybe he at least did it when she wasn't there, though.
No, I think they were together.
Like in the same store?
I think so.
Well, that's the way it worked for me and Stephanie, because we're looking at this ring, and she likes it, says she wants it. And I said, man, if I get you this ring just for a gift, what am I going to get you as an engagement ring, just as a passing conversation? Again, she hoodwinked me. I done shot my mouth off. She goes, well, this could be my engagement ring. And I was like, oh, no. So I bought it. I held on to it for a while.
You didn't just like propose with the receipt right there?
No, I was much more romantic than that, man. just as romantic as I was on Valentine's Day, that's how well I crushed the engagement. So I took her to Olive Garden, had big plans. I was going to get down on one knee right there in Olive Garden and say, will you marry me? And she was going to be all excited and blush and cry, and it'd be nice. Ask me if that's what happened, Benji. No, it's not.
You didn't let me ask. I was just thinking about garlic bread.
So I'm telling you this deep emotional story.
And I'm thinking
and you're thinking about garlic bread.
I'm thinking all you can eat free garlic bread. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, we're communicating well then, apparently, because that's all I did is I ate garlic bread the whole time. So a friend of her was getting ready to move, so we go to Sears to see her and tell her goodbye. And I'm sitting there and got the ring down in my seat, in my lap, and I'm fidgeting with it, and I'm sure she's like, what the crap is he doing? And so finally I pull the ring up and I said, well, I was going to do this at Olive Garden, but I chickened out. Will ya?
You should have shoved the ring in the garlic bread, and then she would have
ate it.
She would have tasted it.
So I guess there was ways I could have done this worse, apparently, now that you're bringing up
there's plenty.
These options.
You could have tried to get down on a knee and had a cramp. It could have been worse.
Well, thank you. I should have had you with me all these years to give me reinforcement that I didn't totally mess this scenario up.
I have great ideas. You got to hear them out.
Oh, so she says yes, and we're engaged. We got married in 2003 at the Scottish Rite Building. The basement of the Scottish Rite Building looks like somebody put a box of Pepto-Bismol in the center of it and then blew the box up. Pink.
What's the
everywhere.
Scottish Rite Building?
It's over on like 6th and Byers, maybe. It's just a building you could rent.
With giant Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, the basement was terrible. Terrible. But that's where we got married. When we was deciding to get married, she recommended that I come to Joplin and go through the police academy and get a job as a police officer up here. And so after we got married, I went to the police academy from 9 to 5 every day. I would go home and sleep. And then I would go back to the Ottawa County Jail where I was working at the time and work overnight. That was a long semester. I'm not even going to lie to you. I would wake up every night to hamburger helper of different varieties.
Sounds good.
No, not if you have it every night.
It was different varieties.
But it was still hamburger helper, bro. I still have flashbacks of hamburger helper. Walking down the hamburger helper aisle, I have PTSD. I fall down and start crying.
I know. I ate a lot of hamburger helper back in the day myself.
So I got my post certification and I went to work for the Joplin Police Department for 5 years until Stephanie came home and told me, she was going to nursing school. And she's like, I can't do this. I was like, you can't do what? And she said, I can't work full time and go to school. So I got a second job driving a tow truck. And I went from people showing up and people saying, it's the police, run, to, oh, thank God you're here. I'm ready to get this car off this road. So
you have to impound vehicles ever?
I did sometimes, yes. We did tows for the police department.
You ever get any angry people?
Those people are usually already arrested. They can't be angry anymore to me.
Oh, I'm sure they were angry.
But they just wasn't my problem.
Yeah.
So I drove a tow truck for a while. I've had a few other jobs here and there. One of the jobs I liked best was working for Pala Music Center selling instruments. I really enjoyed going to work every day and messing with sound equipment and guitars and stuff like that.
You know how to play?
Oh, yeah. I play guitar, acoustic guitar, play a little bit of piano, just very minor. Some electric guitar and bass. I can't play the drums because I have absolutely no ability to move my appendages in different directions at the same time.
I've heard people say I'm a great singer.
Would you like to sing something for us?
No.
Well, you're a great singer. Let's hear it.
There is a video out there floating around somewhere.
It's on my phone. I'll insert it at this point.
No.
I think it was something like, ah!
What?
I think that was what it sounded like.
It sounded good.
Good.
It sounded real good.
You couldn't even say that with confidence. You had to choke it out.
It was good.
If you're deaf.
I can sing. It's just not very good.
Everybody can sing.
Exactly.
It's just if somebody wants to hear it or not.
Yeah, no one wants to hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, now that we've clarified that.
Yeah, I can sing. You just don't want to be around when I do.
That's very true. Oh, that was a funny day, though.
No, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious. Anywho, so I was working at a car lot, selling cars for Roper Kia, and I sat down with Brian Pink at a church bonfire for our worship team, and we were talking about car sales, and he says, you should come do real estate with me. And I was like, I don't know anything about real estate. Can you teach me to real estate?
Teach you to real estate?
It's from The Longest Yard. He goes, can you teach me to football?
I haven't seen that movie in a while.
It's the new one with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, I haven't seen it
Dude,
in a while.
you should see it. It's great. I love that movie.
It's a very good movie.
Funny. Very funny.
I just haven't seen it in like 10 years.
Whatever, Benji.
It's true.
So from there, I started my real estate training in December. December, I didn't really do much because it's holiday time and I didn't want to fight with that. So in January, I started hitting it hard. I would get up every day at 5 a.m., train for a couple hours, and then I'd go to work at the car lot. And then February came around. We had got COVID at the end of January. And so all I did was study and review tests because I couldn't go test yet because stinking COVID.
Yep.
And then February came around when I was able to go test. I went and tested the first time and passed. I put in my notice at Kia, and they let me go that day. That was kind of awesome. It's like, oh, end of the month, I'll be done. They're like, nope, today, bye.
So were you like fired?
I would call it fired. I'm not even gonna lie.
Like you put in 2-week notice, and they're like, no, you can go today.
Totally, exactly what it was like.
I would say you got fired.
I guess I got fired. So I called Brian that day. I was like, well, it looks like I get to start sooner because I'm done at Kia. And I came and started selling real estate. I closed my first transaction in March. And from there, I proceeded to help 35 families buy homes in my first year. It was a whirlwind. Like at that time, real estate was just absolutely on fire.
It was crazy.
So there wasn't no, let me figure this out as I go. Like I just had to jump in there, learn the contracts, and start helping people with the dreams that they had, which I absolutely loved, man. I got to partner with some families who, there's one guy that I got to help buy a house who had been waiting for 5 years, like trying to get his credit right, and bam, and when it got right, we found the property and put him under contract, and 30 days later, he's in his house.
Yeah, just a matter of timing.
Absolutely. I love that too, like being able to help people through that process. And then this year, I met you in October at Bold. We kind of built a relationship, and then a few months later, we started working together.
We had a near-death experience.
Oh, Lord. We ain't even talking about the ride to Arkansas. Like, we didn't even make it to 249 and get on the interstate, and we're almost hitting motorcycles.
The worst part about that was you only rode with that guy once. I done it every single time.
I didn't do it again. Like, I'm very particular about who I'll ride with. And if you betray that trust the first time, you're done.
I just slept. That way I didn't know if it was coming.
I was dreaming and now I'm standing in heaven. Yeah, I ain't all about dying in my sleep. So, and I don't sleep very well in cars to begin with. But yeah, so you and I have built a relationship. We worked together at Pink Homes for a while. And now here we are doing Bobby Jean Team and trying to help each other, make each other's dreams come true, man. Isn't that cool?
It's awesome.
Partnering up together.
That was an awkward situation.
Doing like the knuckle high five thing?
I think I should use this hand.
Well, then it's not me that was awkward. That's all on you.
Okay, let's redo it.
Okay, cool. There we go. Now we can move on, people.
Now it was good.
So that kind of brings us up today. I didn't talk about Joey.
No, you didn't.
What is wrong with me?
You left your son out this entire time.
The most amazing thing that has ever happened to me. My wife and I struggled with infertility. We had a lot of babies that died before they were born. And we had kind of reached a place where we were healing from that. And, in a very stressful and busy part of life. And we got a call from a lady who had met us at another church and said that her sister was pregnant, and they'd been talking about us through the pregnancy, and they wanted to know if we'd be willing to adopt her nephew. And I was like, man, like, we've talked about adoption, but it's not anything that we're really pursuing right now with the way life is. So we went and met him that weekend, and 5 weeks later, Stephanie was in the delivery room when Joey was born. It's just amazing. He was talking about timing, like when God's timing on something happens, everything just falls into place. Like, it took us 2 years to complete the adoption, but like from the day Joey was born, he's always been in our life. We've always been his protector and caregivers, and now he's my best buddy. We like to snuggle. He'll come to the bedroom and be like, Daddy, I was wondering if you could talk to your business partner, meaning my wife Stephanie, not Benji, about me, sleeping in your bed tonight. And I'm like, you got school tomorrow. Yeah, but I was just thinking, if I don't do it again for the rest of the school year, that would be a good thing, right? And I'm like, oh yeah. So let me do it tonight and I won't do it again. And then 2 weeks later, hey, if you'll let me do it tonight.
Sounds like pretty good business, man.
Oh, that kid, he is going to tear the world up. Like, he is the sharpest, brightest child I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Kind of partial to him, so don't take that as gospel.
He doesn't call me your business partner. He just calls me oatmeal. Sees me in oatmeal one time.
Right? And then you become oatmeal forever again. Oh, you're going to have fun next week. Like, he is going to run you ragged.
I'm not eating oatmeal in front of him.
Well, but what are you going to do when he starts calling you Apple?
I'm not going to eat apples in front of him.
So you're just not going to eat in front of the kids so that you don't get a new nickname? I'm
going to eat something like real cool. Like crabs or something. He'll just start calling me crabs.
You want to be called Krabby then?
Krabby, that's better.
Krabby is better than oatmeal?
Yeah. I'd rather be called Krabby than oatmeal.
I would not want to be called Krabby.
What kind of food would you want to be called, though? Not oatmeal.
Honestly, buffalo for me, man.
That is a good point. I'll just eat an entire buffalo in front of you. That way he'll call me Buffalo.
Tatonka. We digressed again.
Yeah, we do this every time.
We totally lost it. What questions do you have for me, Benji? What do you want to know?
What inspires you every single day?
Oh, man. The thing that inspires me every day is to create a life that my son can be proud of first. To have a life that is filled with integrity so that when my son looks back on what I've done in life, he can look back and say, man, look at what my dad did. My dad did amazing things. And then he can take the life that we've built and use that as a platform to go to the next level on. That's what inspires me. I don't care about money. I don't really care about stuff, which I like cars and guns, and
I think most people like stuff.
There's stuff that I like, but it's not like I get up in the morning and was like, if I had a brand new Barrett 50 caliber rifle, my life would be perfect.
I mean,
that's
where people make mistakes. So many people think if I had this, I'd be happy. No, you could be happy without that. You just gotta figure out how.
Yeah, you gotta choose to be happy. So like that's the thing that inspires me is building a life that my son can build upon, and I can leave a legacy for him that he looks back and says, well, I need to do this because I seen my dad do that, or I shouldn't do this because that would tarnish what my dad did. For me, my grandpa was that, I didn't mind getting a spanking. I didn't mind getting grounded. Like, those things didn't hurt me. But I never wanted to tarnish my family. So that's what I want to do, is leave something behind for him that he can say, this is my last name and I don't want to run it.
A legacy.
Yeah, a legacy.
What's your goals for this year?
This year, I would like to help 100 families buy or sell homes. Um, my absolute biggest goal this year is I want to become a bigger part of the communities that I have. I have in my life I have been the type of person that if it's not directly in front of me, I don't really think about it. I don't really worry about it. I used to think I was a terrible person because I rarely call my mom because if she's not around me, I don't really think about, oh, I should be calling my mom or I should be doing this. And so I want to become more intentional about stuff like that. I want to know people's birthdays so that I can send them a card. I want to know where they live so I know where to send that card to. Um, I want to call and talk to people. Like this week, I am starting to do the call rotation so that I touch every person in my phone book. So if you get a call from me, it's not because there's something wrong or because I need something. I am literally just calling you because I haven't called you in probably who knows how many years. Because I've got thousands of names in my phone book and I just don't call. I don't call and check on people. I don't call and have conversations with people. So I will be calling you and I will become part of your life and part of your story. If you don't want me to do that, don't answer that phone.
or answer it and just say it.
Yeah, you just tell me to go away. Yeah. I'm cool with that too. I am going to find my tribe this year. I'm going to find the people who want to be in my life and who want to do amazing things with us.
I had another question. I cannot remember.
I bet it was an epic question.
It was. It was super epic. Did you ever think about real estate as a career path before you got into it?
I really didn't. When I started as a cop in Joplin in 2003, I honestly thought that I would spend 20 years as a cop and retire, and then whatever came after that came after that. That changed after 5 years. Being a cop really breaks you down. You see the worst of society, and you see people doing things that you never wanted to know happened. So I got out of law enforcement.
You also get treated differently.
You do. That's true. So we should take care of our law enforcement and teachers. We talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
Teachers.
Gary deleted our last video, but yeah.
This one's going well, though.
This one has.
We've done good on this one. So yeah, that's... I never, ever thought about being in real estate up until the point Brian and I was sitting down and talking about it.
Which I think a lot of people are like that. They kind of fall into this. Like,
yeah,
life just brings them into it eventually. It was, I mean, for me, it's something I want to do since I was young. But yeah, I would say the majority of people kind of just end up
from someplace else.
Yeah, transitioning. A lot of teachers. A lot of teachers.
There are a lot of teachers. Krista, that's why you should become a real estate agent with me. You're an amazing teacher, super organized, and you would be great at this.
Fireworks. What is going on?
Well, anywho.
Great at this. Was it a key word? You'd be great at this.
Maybe it's telling us our time's almost up.
Maybe.
What other questions do you have for me?
I don't know. Those fireworks distracted me.
Squirrel!
That is kind of stuff I've done. I'm a very easily distracted person.
This is true.
I've been supposed to be showing houses before and try to catch animals while I'm there. It happens.
I'll never forget the time we were driving down the road and we seen the little, it was raccoons or foxes that you wanted to get out and get.
Yeah. I told Gary to pull over and let me get them.
I said, dude, that's a bad plan.
We're not doing it. I've always been that way. I've always wanted, like, if I see an animal and I think it needs help, I've always been the person that wants to take it. I had a listing and I found a baby bat in their basement. I took that thing home.
Did it die?
No, I let it loose in the wild.
Do you think it's still alive?
No.
The eternal optimist, Benji Fox.
I done the best I could, but if I would have kept it, it would have for sure died.
Yeah.
So I figured...
let it die in nature?
Let it die in nature.
Oh, man. All right, so you've asked me everything you want to ask me then.
I believe so.
All right. Well, This has been Ben and Gary's.
Here's the scoop. That was
amazing.
That was solid.
Hey guys, Benji and I are coming at you from Las Vegas, Nevada. We are in the beautiful Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, so we're not going to get eaten by a shark here. We're just standing in front of the reef. We want to thank you for watching this episode today.
5-part series talking about demystifying the home buying process.
Yeah, we're going to break everything down from how to pick an agent to finding a lender, doing home inspections, what an appraisal looks like, all the way up to the big day of the closing table and the title company that you chose when you went under contract.
This has been our episode. This hasn't been an episode.
This is just an advertisement.
This is just an advertisement for the
By the
next
way,
episode.
we promised to tell you funny stories from Vegas too.
Yeah, there's already quite a few.
I'm going fast, Mama.
Oh, that was easy.
We're not down yet.
Oh, we're not? Crap.